Welcome back. I am Ari, and I recently played LoverPretend. Today I present to you my route review for Yukito Sena. Let's get right into it. So, Yukito. Alright, I guess from the prologue it's already pretty clear how he's gonna act most of the time. I don't wanna say too much about this character actually. It's a bit more complicated. Before I start, I just want to say I'm not gonna spoil the route. I will try to convey my feelings and what happened, bit of structural stuff, but I will not spoil what actually happened. I will make remarks about it, like I said. Okay, let's get into this character for a start. If you played the prologue before, like I did, then you already kind of know what you're getting into. Actually, this time I don't want to go too much into his character, because I actually think it's a nice... I'm betraying myself if I say anything, actually. I kind of think it would be best to go in a little bit blind. But, as I already played another route before that, I kind of want to go and say a little bit about that. First of all, he's overly flirty as these characters go. He jokes a lot, usually in that direction, and he's basically known, if you spend a little bit more time one-on-one with him, that he will not be showing his cards. Right? Like he acts oblivious basically if confronted with anything. And yeah. So he's a pretty strange character to confront actually, or if you want to get behind his jokes, you will have a hard time actually getting anywhere. But like I said, he was my second route. I already played Kazuma's route, and in Kazuma's route you hear a little bit of a different side from him through Kazuma. Through basically a few comments that Kazuma makes, and also through his perspective. And in this one he's always described as being pretty sensible and pretty attentive. Like he, if you really pay attention, you can feel even in the prologue actually that he will back off if he goes too far. No, I wouldn't even say that actually. He never goes too far, that's the point. He knows how to handle people. And I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I wish I could talk more about it, but I'm really afraid that someone's gonna watch this before they're gonna play him, and I don't want to ruin like anything. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. But I was, let's say, pleasantly surprised about his character. That's all I'm gonna say. Like I kind of knew what I was getting into, I thought, but it was better than I expected. It was actually better than I expected. Alright, since I'm not gonna talk about this character anymore, let's get into like the structure of his route, kind of. Again, I'm not gonna spoil anything specific, but his route overall was pretty good. I really liked most parts. It has like kind of a recurring problem, in quotes problem. It was good, and then it kind of mellowed out. Like I remember I had multiple times in his route where I was thinking it would be nice if something would happen soon again. Like, okay, we're doing something, yes, the text is flowing, time is flowing, but I wasn't bored, but only mildly entertained, I guess. I have to say, usually I would put this as a negative, but I think I'm just gonna put this out there. This is actually intended writing. It has a purpose in the things where it is, usually. I think in all of them, I'm not sure if in all of them, but in most of them, it actually serves something in the story. And that's all I'm gonna say about this. But I have to put an asterisk to that, and that is, you don't have to be scared. It will pick up again. Like, even though you think, oh, okay, this route is going down the drain, it's getting boring, it will pick up again, I promise. Anyway, overall I think the route could have greatly benefited of more romance scenes. I wouldn't say that there were less or more romance scenes than in Kazuma's route. But the thing is, if you have these mellow moments, I think they should have balanced them out with like 1 or 2 more romance scenes, just to make it feel a little bit more uplifting at times. But I guess maybe it's time constraints. Then again, I have to say, specifically chapter 6 and 7, I'm gonna talk about. Again, I'm not gonna go into what's in these chapters, but when I reached chapter 6, I was pretty sure I'm gonna put Yukito Sena down in my 3rd tier, which is he could have been happy ending, he could have been perfect, but it was just too many missed opportunities for me. The mellowness was too strong, and there was not much comeback. There was comeback enough for me to not put him in Mr. Bait. Yeah, that was kind of my feel of, wow, this is unfortunate, when I ended episode 6, I think. So I didn't expect that much more for episode 7. And then I went into episode 7, the last chapter, right, the ending, and I was just blown away. There was one fade after the other, just fade to black, new scene, fade to black, new scene, and every time I was like, okay, so this has to be the ending. Nope, it just kept on going. Like, the chapter just never ended. And like, some of these were actually pretty long and actually really good. And it just steadily ramped up. Gradually I was like, okay, I have to put him in Happy Life. And then I was just like, from what I'm seeing, I kind of want to put him higher. So he's, I guess, a pretty weak compared to the others until death do us part people that I put there, love interests. He's a bit weak, not gonna lie. I think if he had like 1 or 2 romance scenes more, he would have probably been higher. Or like, not higher, but like, then he wouldn't be weak. He's already in the biggest category, so I was actually really surprised by chapter 7. And like I said, the romance scenes, if they're there, they're far and few apart, but if they're there, they're really strong. They're really good. Wow, I just remembered like the last CG. The last CG was, it blew my mind away in a sense. I mean, it wasn't anything. No, I'm not gonna. I wish I could talk about it more, but yeah, when I saw it, I was like, okay, dude, like it's. I don't have to argue anymore. He's gonna go into the first tier. So maybe some gripes that I had, or like some closing thoughts for route structure, are like the other characters are barely in this route. I was a little bit sad about that actually, especially since I bonded so much with Kazuma. Towards the end, or like not towards the end, towards the second half, he was a little bit more, he was shown more, but that kind of struck me as odd. I guess then again, if I compare it to Kazuma's route, the others weren't also that invested. I guess Yukito was a little bit. Anyway, there's again what I noticed in Kazuma's route, in my first route, that there was the structure of having a twist at the kind of half point or maybe 2/3 point and then at the end, which was the case for this route too. If you have played the route, I'm just gonna say this like this, I'm not gonna spoil it, but if you have played it the first twist, you will know what I mean. The first twist that changes stuff between them, I actually think it should have been more extreme. I was on the edge of my seat when I came to it, and it was the first thing that was sad about it, that clues you in of what's happening. I was like, oh my god, oh my god. And then we got there and it happened, and I was not disappointed, but it was way more mild than I expected. I was actually kind of surprised how it was handled, and I guess it makes sense how stuff changed afterwards, but I think it would have been better if it would have been more extreme and more talked about, I guess. It was handled really mildly. That would have actually also given him way more points. So another gripe that I had was the pretend times in this route were too many times with one character. I think it was important, but they probably could have invested in different stuff actually. I would have liked to have, I don't know, one less pretend time and one more romance scenes. I know I'm keep bringing this up, but I really think, I'm really unhappy with how nice this couple actually got together, or like not got together, but how happy this couple seems to be and how little we saw of it. They have such great chemistry. I'm gonna get to that actually in the next section, like kind of dynamics or whatever I'm gonna call it. It's kind of unfortunate. I really wanted more romance scenes, or like at least one more to make it easier to accept, because it was like, again, you have to balance out the mellowness of the route that just creeped up again and again. Alright, I think that's it, so I'm just gonna jump straight into dynamics, which I already started. My first point is not enough romance moments. I think you get what I say. Then again, like, I want to stress there are like a lot of them and they're really good when they are there. I just think it would have been good to add 1 or 2 more. Like I already started, the MC and our love interest here, Yukito Sena, have great chemistry. The problem is, because of these mellow moments, I actually felt like it was mostly friendship for the longest time. I would have been completely fine if this was just a good ending or a bad ending where you just end up being like best buds with like Yukito. Would have completely made sense to me. The problem was that I was on the happy ending path, right? So like that felt really odd to me. And again, it was intended at most parts, and it made sense, and it was also corrected by the character. I don't really know how to say it without spoiling, so it's actually an issue that's brought up and it's resolved, let's say that. So it made it really believable. So it's a bit unfortunate that there's so much friendship vibe in this route, which again I thought would have been balanced out by another romance scene. Anyway, all in all, I think I've already said I will put him in my highest tier, because I actually think he is a great partner. He's a really interesting guy. I really liked well, it isn't really a twist at the end. I think not the twist at the end or like the explanation at the end, but I guess the change. I'm just gonna leave it at this word. I don't want to say anything more, but if you played it, you know what I mean. I really like that. I really do. And I think these two together have a great future ahead of them. And I think this is actually a character where I would really look forward to a fan disc that would just explore their relationship further, because yeah, again, I'm missing like 1 or 2 romance scenes to be completely justified in my judgment of putting him in the highest tier. Then again, I also found out while I was playing the route that there's actually like bonus chapters. I didn't know that. The game doesn't tell you. So I would check those out, but I think since I didn't do it for Kazuma, it wouldn't be fair to judge Yukito with it. So I will probably just play all the routes and then I will play the bonus chapters, or like maybe something along these lines. A little bit of a spoiler. Again, it's just about his energy. It's about a character from Mystic Messenger, if you played that one. Maybe mute or like click away if you don't want to hear it, but maybe it's a little bit of his design, but it was not really his character or demeanor. Like, it was more like his energy. But the energy of Yukito really reminded me of Zen from Mystic Messenger. I really liked Zen. But yeah, his energy kind of reminded me of him. That's all I wanted to mention. Let's get back on track. Anyway, okay, so that's it for Yukito. I think since I also did this for Kazuma, I will talk about my next pursuit. So since starting this game, I also found out that I kind of misunderstood something. I thought, so like there's a soft recommend route order, and there was like that in the bottom, or like for the starters, there's Kazuma, Harumi, and Yukito. So I thought I would do those 3, and then you're supposed to play Riku and. So I thought actually that Riku is locked, Riku Nishijima. But I just found out through looking a little bit more into the game that Riku is actually not locked. He's actually like, you can play all 4, and then at the end you can play it. So I have to confess at this point, yes, I said in Kazuma's video that I was actually drawn into this game by his design and his demeanor, I guess, in the trailer. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys, Riku is like really my type. So yeah, I was really hyped for Riku the moment I laid eyes on him in game and saw him, and like, I mean, in the trailer I don't know, I guess in the trailer I saw his pose and I was like, I don't know, but I really liked the CG they showed, and yeah, I was definitely interested in the moment I saw him in game and like how he acts and how he talks, basically. I think that's the most of it, like how he talks and composes himself. I was really smitten. I mean, yes, I was focused on Kazuma, but I strayed a little bit in that moment. Anyway, so I can't help myself. I will start Riku after this and just put Harumi, even though I expect his route to be really wholesome, probably, from what I've seen. I would just put him on hold for a little bit longer and gonna push him back for Riku, because I really want to see Riku. Yeah, so that's kind of how it will go. So I played Kazuma and Yukito. I will play Riku next, and then Harumi, and then we will finally finish with. And I'm not sure yet if I will play the bonus chapter before or like how I'm gonna do this. And what I know though is when I have played, then I will actually give my verdict on this game, I guess, on a whole. I hope this helped you decide if you want to play this route. And I will see you in the next one when I play Riku. Bye! I forgot something when I edited this video. Like I said in Kazuma's video, I actually recorded the videos on LoverPretend first of all my root review videos, so the formula is a little bit jammed or like all over the place. I'm sorry about that. I later on made up some other ratings, which I'm gonna show you now. I have retroactively cooked those up for the LoverPretend characters. I did not actually rate them when I recorded my root review, so I'm not talking about them, but here you are. And since I already released Kazuma's video, I'm gonna tack on Kazuma's rating to Yukito's. And once again, I say bye!